a frosty morning last October, we featured a group of maritime baseball players who were saving up for a goodwill trip to Cuba. Well, now, 4 months later, we're happy to tell you it is mission accomplished. They've made a real difference in the lives of Cuban kids who share their passion for the game. Here's CTV's Jason Baxter with the beginnings of something special.
Much like the results of this sweet swing, the Nova Scotia-Cuba Goodwill Tour was a home run.
Baseball was the international language. The
team returned earlier this month, and today, Coach Dennis Woodworth and some of his players met on a snow-covered diamond to share stories.
It was an amazing experience to come down to Cuba in the middle of February, where here we have the freezing cold winter, and then there we have the warm temperatures. Playing baseball, you just gotta love it. No way I'd trade anything for it. It was great.
The Nova Scotian kids, making up two different teams, played 10 games while they were in Cuba. But if you ask any of them, the trip really wasn't about baseball. The teams raised over $15,000 and put it to good use.
Bats, helmets, brand new catcher's gear, you name it. This group took 12 full hockey bags, as big as we could get and as much as we could pack in.
Its destination, Matanzas, a small city roughly halfway between Havana and the resort town of Veradero.
We don't know what poverty is until you see the situation there.
There was certain gloves that were like, there was holes in like the pockets, and there was the thumbs and stuff weren't even attached. There's certain things like that, but they still use them.
The bases were like just bags and folded up carpet. It felt really good to hand them like a bat. Their eyes would light up and they'd smile, and it was really cool.
Hogan Ingram of Armbray Academy won a $2,000 humanitarian award at his school.
One of the most impactful things I did for the trip was going to buy the equipment, because that was like, it was a great feeling, because I just was picturing the faces like I would see when I was giving it away down there.
The players and coaches in Matanzas were overwhelmed, and so was Dennis.
Well, if you ever watched The Grinch, and his heart just grew that big, that was me down there.
One of the highlights of everyone's trip was when they took 40 Cuban kids with them for a day back at the resort.
And these kids that came to the resort have never seen a resort in their lives. They live 45 minutes away and have never experienced inside the gates of a resort.
They came to the buffet, and they just piled their plates high.
As far as the games go, Bridgewater's Zach Zink was on the mound for Nova Scotia's first win against the Matanzas Crocodiles.
After we won that game, everybody just went nuts. Like, we were all so happy just to even be there. Then when we actually won, it was unbelievable.
And unbelievable is a word that comes up often in describing this inaugural trip. A date has already been set for the next Nova Scotia-Cuba Goodwill trip for next February, which will include plans to bring along a girls team. And the next stage of developments includes bringing a Cuban team to the Maritimes in the summer of 2015. So stay tuned, Bruce.
Yeah, let's keep it going. That's great. Thank you, Jason.
You're welcome.
Very inspiring.